Hi guys, today I'm actually going to show you how to send in your traced items so we can custom cut your specific foam for your individual models. The first thing you need to do is get yourself a clean white sheet of paper like this. Standard sheet of paper is going to do just fine for you. You're also going to need a good sharp marker or Sharpie pen. The reason for that is most ballpoint pens actually leave marks between each of the lines, and it leaves gaps. Those gaps are not going to work for us because we need to see all of your lines connected. So after you have your pen and your nice clean sheet of paper, you're going to need your models. Now, we can do foam for any model out there, so it doesn't matter what hobby you're into. We can even do them for off-the-wall projects, individual subject matter. If you have specific models you've painted that are just for display, we can do those too. Obviously, we're more tailored around your hobby models like you see here, but we can do any project out there. So what you'll need to do is you're going to have to take your white piece of paper like so, and your pen. You're going to place your models on your white sheet of paper, making sure there's about an inch between all of them. You're going to take your Sharpie and then put one finger on your models and make sure it does not move, and trace around these models, being very careful to make sure all of your edges touch. You're going to go around all these models. Obviously, for the purpose of speed here, I'm not going to do that, but what we will do is show you what your end result will look like. Your end result will look like this, which will match your specific models, just like that. So what this does for you is it gives us a top view of what those models are like traced. Along with that, what we need to know is how tall these models are. There's a reason for that. We don't have the models in our hands, so we need to know how big to make your foam. For instance, this vampire count model here is about 3 inches tall, and this warjack here is about 2 inches. Same with this war boss. Any model you send us, we need to know the height of it. Use a ruler or any sort of tape measure and find out how high it is. Then write that in the center of the actual trace. Along with that, you need to put on here how many of that model you have and you want us to make you foam for. In this case, 1 vampire count. Here for the warjack, you may have 3. And here for this last war boss, you may have 2. So keeping in mind, we need to know the height of the model, the obvious outline of the model, and how many of those models you need. We will then arrange them in the best possible way to fit on your specific foam size. So if you have a case that fits, let's say, this size or X size, we will make as many models fit in that foam area so we can maximize your carriage capacity. Now, what if you have a difficult model? Let's say, for instance, you have something like a battle wagon like this. Now, this battle wagon is a very difficult model to trace. The main reason it's difficult to trace is because it has a lot of spiky bits on it. Not a problem for battle foam. What we can do here is we can place your model, well, you would place your model at home on a white sheet of paper just like before, tracing around and making sure you actually cover all of these little jagged edges, machine guns, front areas, back areas that stick out. When you're done with that, same as before, you're going to have something that looks like this. If you notice, your model fits exactly in here. So when you have this put in, it is an exact top view of that model. I'm just going to guess and say that this was a 6-inch model. And let's say you have just one of these battle wagons. You would put one. You would then fax this piece of paper in along with your custom order form that you can find on the left-hand side of our homepage. Fill that out, put your name, address, good contact information, along with these copies, and fax them in to us. Or scan them and send them in an email. Either way, we can figure out the rest from there. We take care of all the details. Now, let's say you have a very difficult model, like a Titan or something large. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. Now, if you have a model like this Titan is a difficult model to trace because most of it will stick out off the paper. So what do you do for that? Well, it's very simple. You just take an additional sheet of paper, whatever amount of room you need, and trace around it. So what you'll have is you'll have a model that traces completely around, making sure to go in all the little spots that have detail on the back, and trace around it. So what you'll have then is after you've made that trace, you're going to have an area that looks like that. So now this area here is what your model's top view is like. Well, what do you do with that? Well, don't worry about it. Just take these pieces of paper and fax them in just like this. So what you're actually going to fax into us is going to be something that looks like this on one sheet and like this on the other. We are smart enough here to put these two pieces together and figure out what size your model is. Then these 2 pages, along with your custom order sheet, get sent in to us. We get them, we put them together, find out what size your model is, Simple as that. We can cut foam for just about anything. If you're looking to do something custom, like putting logos for your gaming club on top of models, we can do that. That's not a problem. Any sort of logo, you can fax into us or email into us. We use JPEGs. The bigger the image, the better it's going to come out on your phone. So the sky's the limit. The number one thing to remember is if you have a model, we can probably fit it. Also keep in mind that we can answer questions through our phone lines at 480-747-0230 anytime. If you have any questions or concerns, call us. We will help you out. We can fit any model out there. No problem. Sky's the limit on really what we can do. Give us a call. We look forward to getting your order, and hopefully this custom tutorial showed you guys how to send in your models. Thank you very much.